Of all of the weeks for Mark Stern to not be here.
Gang hang! I was going to yell, Mark Stern! But it was too late. We took a little winter break, but we are back. There's all kinds of stuff to talk about. I ask that you guys open the chat, and if you want to talk about something, drop it in there. Or if you want one of us to shut up, raise your hand in there, and I'll call on you or whatever, so we're not all screaming over each other. But the biggest news that probably hit that I'm sure we all want to squeal about and get into, we got a Supergirl teaser trailer. Finally. Yeah. I was getting worried. Like, this movie's coming. We had Superman stuff.
It's out next year.
Joe Patrick, we had Superman stuff for 2 damn years before the movie came out. Okay.
But they had to do a little bit more to sell the big reboot. Big Universal reboot.
It was a little weird for a minute there, but we've got a Supergirl trailer, and my first instinct when I watched it, I just said to myself, I said out loud, Guardians of the Galaxy. It just came out of me. It looks like she is
they definitely want you to think that for sure.
Oh, for sure. Right?
The trailer is doing what trailers do, but so I was talking to Frank and to Keith and to some other guys on the Discord about, they're like, this doesn't look like Woman of Tomorrow at all. But if you look closely at the trailer, there is this like sense of melancholy.
Oh yeah, she's messed up
because she makes she says something.
Well, she's a drunk.
The girl says something about losing everything in one day, and Kara says, "Oh, Krypton didn't die in one day. The gods are not that kind." And it's just like, Jesus.
And she's drunk at the bar, like trying to drink her problems away.
Right. And so it's, I understand that like the tone of the trailer wants you to think it's gonna be a slam bang good time. You remember the soundtrack to Guardians.
Come on, we all know what James Gunn does though. There's always.
She's even wearing a headset, just like a Walkman, just like Star-Lord.
So what did you guys think? What did you guys, somebody else chime in here. Frank, you're here.
Yeah. As I said, I felt sad for her because of everything that she's been going through. And it really lay out, like this is a person dealing with the loss of family, the loss of their entire world, essentially.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's definitely, it sort of broke my heart a little bit. You know, because in my head, because I'm old, Supergirl is not melancholy. Supergirl is this kind of, optimistic teenager. But that's a long time ago. That's, that's like back before, like, that's like 3 reboots ago of the DC universe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just, my view of the DC universe is, as I said, it's a bit older because the last time I really got into the DC universe was, probably, not Crisis, but, and there's that. There's the whole, Supergirl died in Crisis. And then, we mourned her there. And then here's this Supergirl's back because the whole DC universe is rebooted. And now we have, I really hope they're not, I don't think they're going to set that up where they're going to kill her off again.
No, I don't think so.
That's a lot,
That's a lot. That's a lot. Brian, Brian, your hand is up. What do you?
Looks good. The movie looks good, though. I'm here for it.
Brian, what do you got? Your hand is up.
I am a Tom King complainer, but I think that's probably the best book he's written.
Agreed.
It has.
Agreed.
It's a little overwritten, but like it's stunning, and the art is the big appeal for me. Both the artists, Evely and Lopes, the colorist, and the movie so far does not look like the comic at all, and I think it's disappointing because it is so brown gray. Like it looks like a like a Judge Dredd movie. It's very dark and grim, and I don't mind the melancholy. Like I know it's a sad story and it's a very it's a butt-wrenching story, but it's like it should be fantastical.
Nice use of butt-wrenching, by the way.
Yeah. I will say this, the art, Bilkis Evely and Matt Lopez's art is so beautiful and lush and vibrant.
Yeah.
in that comic, even though the tone of the story can be kind of dour. And the movie does really just feel like, oh, she's on a dirt planet with dirty dirt balls, but hopefully, like, fingers crossed, we get more than just what we were seeing.
This is a teaser trailer.
It's a teaser. So I this is, if this was the final trailer, I would feel really bummed about it, but we've got 6 months of time, and there'll be a bigger trailer, probably like at the Super Bowl or something. Like, it's coming, and so we'll see more, but I don't want more Guardians of the Galaxy stuff. Like,
I kind of don't either.
And also that's a little bit of like the Suicide Squad and a little bit of like Peacemaker. Like, I don't want it to be James Gunn's universe. I want him to let people do their own thing, and I don't know that's going to happen. Like, well, it's going to take a couple of years to see where we end up. If it might just be his version of everything, and that's fine. But that's like, Jim Lee for the New 52. It's like everything kind of looks the same.
Agree.
At some point. Like, I love Jim Lee, but I don't want to see him drawing everything.
I agree with you there. I'm not worried about it yet, but I do agree with you. And I think we can get so homogenous that we end up right back with our complaints in the MCU, where everything is just like, this all feels like the formula.
Chloe Zhao's Eternals, right? Where it's like, well, some people, it has its fans, but we can all, I think everyone, including Chloe, would agree that it's not the movie that she would normally have made.
The studio made that movie. She did not make it.
This movie is being directed by Craig Gillespie, who directed I, Tonya, Lars and the Real Girl, and the Fright Night remake from 2011.
Which was great.
I've seen I, Tonya and Fright Night. Fright Night fucking rules.
It was great. That remake was really good.
We went to everybody, me, Matt, occasional guest host Dave DeMarco. We all, our whole group, we have this thing, Bad Movie Birthday, where we would go every year and around Dave's birthday and find a bad movie. We picked Fright Night, and Fright Night ended up being awesome.
Okay, back to Supergirl real quick. Things I liked. I really liked the line where she says, Superman sees the good in everybody, and I see the truth. Like, she's a skeptic. She is a bit of an asshole. She has been burned. Like, she remembers.
There are some things there that kind of make me hopeful.
Yeah.
I understand the tone of the trailer is off-putting.
No, it's supposed to be, though, because Supergirl was there. Superman was a baby. Superman didn't remember shit. Superman, like, was told the story or whatever by Bradley Whitford and the woman who's not Lady Gaga, but he wasn't there. She lived through it, and she is tortured by it. She's working through these problems. And I don't know. I think it's a good take, and I'm glad we're not just leaning into like, she's a wreck and a real firecracker and she's good at party. Like, no, like, there's some sadness here, and I'm excited.
I hope that the tone of the book carries through.
I agree.
I think where everybody's at, right?
Yeah.
I think everybody loves that Tom King book. James Gunn loves that Tom King book, and James Gunn has said, I don't want people to make my movies. I want people to make their movies. Right. Well, up until now, all we've seen are James Gunn projects. This will be the first time we see if he's putting his money where his mouth is. If he lets this guy, Craig Gillespie, make the movie he wants to make instead of just assembly lining it.
Sure. And I also understand in the teaser if they're like, this scene specifically looks a lot like something from Guardians of the Galaxy. We are purposely going to put that in front of the normies who are like, oh yeah, I did like that movie. I'm gonna go see this one too.
They need to sell this movie to civilians.
I get it. I totally get it. We got a very, very quick peek of Lobo smoking a cigar and walking up, but we don't actually see him.
Awesome. Looks awesome.
He's huge. I'm totally fine with it. Like, I'm into that.
Did you see the people have like done an enhancement?
They've like photoshopped it. Yeah, they've kind of lightened it up.
So you can kind of see.
There's one frame.
I think it's a lot of that is some AI bullshit too. So I wouldn't trust it.
No, it's not.
Because there is one frame. Like, and when I mean frame, I mean like literally, like you can't even pause on it on YouTube because it's X amount of frames per second. But there's one frame in the trailer where it's that light, and people have like snagged that, and he looks exactly right. So we will see what he looks like in the actual light of day.
When I saw that, my thought was, this is literally the part he was born to play. Like, why Aquaman? Why they pick him from Aquaman? That was the part that he should have been playing all along.
No, I mean, I don't disagree.
I agree with you.
Aquaman was definitely a weird step for him, but whatever. He got paid, and he's still in the movies, and everybody likes Momoa, and they like working with him. Who's the guy with the metal face that they took a second?
Oh, that's the main villain.
Who is it?
I'm trying to remember his name, but he's supposed to be the main villain from the Woman Tomorrow story.
Krem is his name. Says John in the chat.
Okay. He is Krem. Okay.
Yep.
I wasn't sure because he looks a little different.
Maybe we don't know. Are you talking about the guy with all the like little pins in his face?
Yeah.
Or maybe he was a bounty hunter, actually. One of the
that's not. Krem doesn't look anything like that in the book, and so it might not be Krem. We don't know.
Okay, I didn't know if there was like some Supergirl character that I was missing. There's a lot here. Like they do the whole bottled city and everything. You know, you see the force field coming down.
It's Argo City escaping. It's Argo City escaping the destruction of Krypton. It's not like Brainiac.
No. But we're leaning into that.
Well, maybe we'll see. Maybe depends on how James Gunn works Brainiac into the lore. But
especially because we've said that Brainiac is going to be.
We think
in our
Brainiac
next Superman
is the villain
movie
of the
and
next
whatnot.
one.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm fine with that.
But yeah, so it's Argo City surviving the destruction of Krypton, because we obviously see scenes set in Argo City because there's that funeral procession.
Right.
And then when she says that comment, Krypton didn't die in one day.
Mm-hmm.
Argo City doesn't, depending on which version of the story you're reading and which reboot we're on, Argo City doesn't always make it. In some iterations, like Argo City is still around. In most of them, Argo City kind of just dies a slow, lingering death because they are floating through space with no resources. And that's why Supergirl had to leave.
Fair. Yeah.
So,
and we're looking at Mark Stern.
We will see what happens.
Mark Stern just put up a picture of Krem in the chat. I don't think we saw him in the trailer.
Look at him. He's gorgeous.
I think that's some bounty hunter guy.
I forgot he had that wonderful red hair right here.
Look at it. Look at that eye makeup.
Yeah, dude. I don't think we saw him. I think that's just some bounty
fucking
hunter.
hot.
Any other thoughts on our Supergirl trailer? Otherwise, we have another trailer to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
We got another trailer to talk about with even more wrestlers.
Boy, I have comments about that.
Let's talk Street Fighter.
So we got a very brief, like literally, it's only 45 seconds long.
Sure.
They pack a lot into that 45 seconds, though. So it's the first teaser for the upcoming Street Fighter. Let's call it a remake or not.
It's not. It's just another.
It's not a remake of the 90s movie. But they're doing an actual Street Fighter reboot.
The 90s movie was not a Street Fighter movie. I don't know what it was. Okay.
Well, I mean, look, it has named characters and M. Bison and all this. And Mark, keep up. We spent 5 minutes talking about Lobo.
Yeah, we talked about Lobo, dude.
Yeah, you turned away to go get your comic book. You missed all the Lobo talk. So the Street Fighter thing, 45 seconds long. You get to see all the characters, and most of them are played by professional wrestlers. Some of them are played by like country music stars, like Orville Peck is playing Vega, which is great.
Love it.
Eric Andre is in it as this guy who I don't think is from he's not from the games though, right?
He
necessarily.
Is, actually, believe it or not. Very minor.
Don
Sauvage
is his
he's
name.
Technically, if you remember the Balrog stage, and there's this dude like throwing like money around, and he's like Balrog's manager.
Oh, so it's okay, he's that guy. All right.
Yeah.
They fucking fight the car. I mean, it's all there. So with that said, let's turn it over to Damon, who is the Ziggurats. I would say the Ziggurats leading Street Fighter fan.
Probably.
What do you got, buddy?
So I'm going to say exactly what I said in Discord. look, there is lore, as some people don't believe
there is
in Street Fighter.
It's bonkers, but it's there.
But it's a little convoluted. Yeah, it's convoluted. It's crazy. It involves like stuff called psycho energy and Akuma trying to beat everybody who's like who's weaker than him. It's a whole thing. Anyway, they can't do that in 2 hours. There's no possible.
No, God no.
The next best thing is to do something over the top and ridiculous and borderline B movie. And I want to say, and I'm still on the fence about the entire movie, but I want to say at the very least, they seem to lean into that. I think they are somewhat self-aware. The action looks kind of cool. I don't know how much the tournament is going to factor in. I hope it does to like a better degree than we got in like the Van Damme movie. But having said that, I don't know if they're going to nail the execution of it to have that balance of being both campy and being entertaining.
Yeah.
And I'm still in that camp. I'm really not sure. Everyone looks cool. I will say the way they framed those poster art was kind of cringe looking, to be honest. But maybe that's the point.
Posters, man, I thought the posters were great.
Yeah.
Yeah, in over the top type of way, which I hope is, again, I get the feeling that they're kind of leaning into that. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. This is all stunt casting, like all throughout.
For sure.
Right.
For sure.
Like Cody Rhodes, Guile. I mean, Jesus.
But I mean, so Guile was the main character in the 90s Street Fighter movie played by Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I wish you would stop saying this because no. Like, no.
I don't know what you can't keep objecting because that's exactly what they were doing.
It is
I know it didn't look like it, but
it's not that it didn't look like it, Joe. It is so far from anything Street Fighter.
I've seen the movie. I know.
It is completely removed.
Okay, I have to just say
this looks like Guile from the game's ridiculous haircut and all.
Yeah, no, he did. All I was going to say was that, listen, I don't have the hatred of the original movie like I know some people do. I thought it's actually got into the so bad it's good territory.
No, for
to
sure.
Be honest.
For sure. I'm with you there, where it's just like, how did this get made? Bizarre.
Yeah.
And it turns out it's like, oh, well, a lot of cocaine, a lot of booze, and a trip to Bangkok, and we can make a movie, baby. Yeah. Like Raul Julia, he had to put on weight because he was so sick. They had to
he was dying of cancer.
They had to postpone like filming and stuff. And oh man, and Jean-Claude Van Damme was like at his drunkest, and like he was on coke, and he was coked out of his gourd. And you go back and like look at some of the lines, and you're like, oh yeah, you can just see this. Like it was a miracle he got some of these lines out. It's crazy.
No, he was out of his gourd.
I forget now. I haven't seen it since I was a kid, but. Did the 90s movie have Blanca? Yeah, it did, didn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Unfortunately, they did a very strange version.
But I think kids at the time would have rioted if Blanca.
Well, we didn't get a real good look at a Blanca in this new 45 seconds.
The new trailer does actually very specifically does not show Blanca at all.
And I'm curious.
But they did release a character poster.
I am curious.
Jason Momoa again.
And so my guess is that the effects on Blanca are not finished, and so they don't have anything to show. But they could whip up a poster that's obviously very heavily computer rendered. I don't
know. Damon, I'm with you. I grew up playing Street Fighter, and I always loved the art behind it. I mean, more than anything, because the story was nonsensical, absolutely insane.
Oh yeah, it was insane.
The manga artists, they got to draw these characters like in fighting poses and like beating each other, just stunning stuff. And it looked so cool. And it looks like this is the problem. Like when we get into things like Cowboy Bebop, for example, we all loved it. It was an amazing show, absolutely beautiful. And then we did a live action version of it. And the first few episodes, I was like, this is a lot of fun. And by the end of it, I was like, I wish they would have never done this.
Yeah,
like some of it, I'm worried because I don't know if I need a live action version of this. But I will say, when Cody Rhodes does the flip kick that Guile did, and like
the Vega,
I just like,
holy crap,
I started giggling like it was there. I didn't see a Hadouken, and I want to see how they pull that off. But
I want to see some magical shit. I want to see a Hadouken. I want to see E Honda doing his stupid thing. I want to see Dawson stretch like Mr. Fantastic.
Bro,
Like, I want to
the-
see the superpowers type stuff.
I have to say about E Honda, I find it hilarious, and Matt knows this. You know who E Honda is, right, Matt?
Off the top of my head, no. Who is it?
It's Hiroki Goto
Oh, that's
from
right.
New Japan Wrestling.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. It's Goto. Yeah, that's right.
I was like, what the hell?
I love
But-
whenever the wrestlers get jobs in movies, it like does my heart good, you know, and this is what they should be doing. There's very few exceptions where you have like a Batista who can be in a serious role and you're like, God, that guy's fantastic. Or a John Cena that can be in like a Peacemaker and everybody just loves him, right? This is where you go get Roman Reigns. This is where you go get Cody Rhodes. This is where you go get Goto, you know, like, yes. Because these guys, they already look like action figures. And the Street Fighter characters are not people. They're not.
Yeah.
They are
they're-
superheroes. They are
exactly.
monsters and magic fighters and shit. And I don't know. There was a lot in this trailer that made me smile. I am cautiously optimistic. And this movie better not be longer than an hour and a half. Otherwise, it could be a real problem.
I have to comment about this. I already said this on Discord, but Andrew Schultz as Dan. I'm not going to give
People
it
are
too
really
much
mad about that. I had never heard of the guy before this trailer came out.
He's a piece of shit. But here's the good news. I'm hoping that he's not in that movie as a pure comedic relief because I cannot stand him as a comedian, even outside of the other shit. But having said that, he's Dan, so I'm assuming that he's probably going to get his ass kicked hopefully in 5 minutes and we never see him again.
Right. Dan's a shitbag. So
that's the purpose of his character. So
Sure.
we shall see.
And who knows? Maybe he's accepting it and be like, yeah, all right, I'll be the fucking jackass. Everybody hates me. Beat me up.
Yeah, exactly.
Good for you.
I
still
will
suck.
say that as an outsider who only knows Street Fighter up to Super Street Fighter number 2, Super Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo. I'm sorry, Super Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's probably the one.
And I was just like, this is exactly the level of stupid that I want a Street Fighter movie to be. I don't
needs to be,
care
yeah.
about, like, I understand, like, yes, I get it. They've retroactively added a story, but if you play those games, especially those old games, there is no story. It's
You're wrong.
Let's go to Japan
You're wrong.
and fight. No,
Yep.
yeah,
Each of the characters do have lore. And
You're wrong.
sure.
Yeah.
I get it, but it's not like I'm not saying it's necessarily good or bad, but Mortal Kombat is a game that actually tells a story. The Street Fighter game is at least the first few do not really tell much of a story.
Okay.
Yes, the characters have an ending, but if you don't finish the game with that character, you're not going to see
you
it.
can just, you may not know it, or, and that happens.
Yeah, I mean,
So, but that's fair enough.
There are no
The
cut
story can
scenes.
go anywhere.
There's just a little airplane goes from America to Japan.
but if you want to
And
see
then,
a perfect
yeah.
example of what happens when you take this too seriously, see any Mortal Kombat movie. They are
Well, that's the thing, right? It's
God,
like
just
MK
garbage.
is like, I think, actually, to be honest with you, that original, only the first one with
Christopher Lambert?
dearly departed,
with Christopher
Terry
Lambert as the
Tagawa.
Asian guy.
Yeah. I enjoyed the first Mortal Kombat. I mean, anything after
Christopher
that is-
Lambert.
Oh man.
Yeah, that guy's rated. Jesus. But I think though that that was the only like Mortal Kombat movie that was probably worth anything. But it's also because it was kind of in that borderline cheeseball range towards.
Oh no,
like,
definitely.
a lot of that movie.
Yeah, when Goro showed up and was literally moving foam, I was just like, oh wow, that's a choice.
And Johnny Cage beats him with one nut punch. I'm like,
Sure.
oh god. Okay.
Sure, yeah. No, I hope they don't take it too seriously. I hope it's not too long, and I hope we just do the fight story. That's what we need. Just do the fight scenes with the badass shit and like dudes posing and getting all
Magic
macho.
powers and some crazy shit.
Lean into
Yeah,
it.
that's good.
That's all I
I
need.
mean, based on this 45-second trailer, I think it looks like a ton of fun.
Hopefully.
And I'm having an open mind, like I said, because I will consume this no matter what, to be honest. So,
But really, like, I'm not the one that they need to like. I'm not the one that they're making the movie for, really. Like, I hope that there's just something there that appeals to fans like Damon.
Yeah,
like,
they're making it for Damon
people
and
that
I.
actually
Yeah.
care about Street Fighter.
Yeah, and they're also, it's not just people that care about Street Fighter, they're making it for people that care about wrestling too, because they know
that's true.
that
100% they
crossover,
are.
100%. That crossover is there, no question.
You're going to see that plastered all over WWE shows. I promise you.
Yeah.
When that movie comes out.
100%. 100%. We also got a little peek at lanterns, a tiny little peek.
Oh, very small. Yeah.
Yeah, the upcoming lantern, but we got to see, a shot in the car. We saw the ring get set down. We got to see a little bit of the tone of it, and I don't know.
And he murders Jon Stewart. No, I'm kidding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Coach murders Jon Stewart.
For those of you that didn't see it, there's a brief bit of voiceover from Jon Stewart where he says, "I've been training my whole life for something like this," and then it cuts to Hal and John in the car, driving down a mountain road or something, and Hal says, "You're not ready to stand in front of the class until the ring says you are." And then he puts the ring on the dash, does a combat roll out of the moving car, and then we see the car go over the cliff as John is scrambling to grab the ring. And so it's like a test. Like, can John get to the ring and save himself? And it's pretty effective. It's a pretty good little teaser. You don't actually see
I just
Green
want to get a
Lantern
full
shit.
teaser like real quick here, though. They wouldn't be leaking this unless we're getting it real quick.
I would. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of rumors about like people were convinced that they were going to secretly or like surprise drop the first Avengers Doomsday teaser because that movie comes out next year too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And
Other than
they were like, I think that's why we got the Supergirl trailer today. It's because they knew that they were supposed to drop the Avengers teaser, but then that didn't happen. So I don't know.
The nerd online population needs to calm down with all of the things they're convinced about because
Agreed.
nothing ever comes true.
The online nerd population.
It's exhausting. All of the
they are
theories
sure
and all
of
the things,
lots of stupid
they're
things.
sure, they are like they're the same people. Everything for them is the reckoning. It's going to happen today. Sell all your stuff. It's happening today. And then guess what? It didn't happen. Every single thing they predict.
It's QAnon, right? And that's all it is.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I heard Obama's already been arrested and he's in prison. It's just they're going to announce it like any now. Yeah, like, okay.
You believe who's in the finale of
okay.
Plastic Man's going to be in the last episode of Peacemaker. And guess what? Nothing happened in the last episode of Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well, you have all these different YouTube creators and AI generated
the content
quote news sites that are literally just throwing out garbage, pure garbage.
Yeah,
and some of it invades my feed every once in a while, and I was like, oh, and like there's some of these guys are really good that I follow, and they're just like talking comics or whatever, and then it'll accidentally kick on like, oh, if you like that, you'll like this, and I'm cooking or whatever and listening to it, and I just turn, I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like just nonsense based on nothing, absolutely nothing, and they have 1 million views. They have 1 million clicks. That's how this shit gets out there.
I never thought that I would live to see the day where I would say with complete sincerity that other than maybe The Beat, obviously The Beat, and some other sites that also cover a lot of other things like AIPT and stuff, Rich Johnston and Bleeding Cool is probably like the most shining beacon of nerd journalism that's currently out there. That's like purely focused on stuff that we care about.
Yeah, it's sad to say, but I will say they're right more times than they're wrong.
It's dire, where it's just like, I guess I'll go to Bleeding Cool to see if this is bullshit or not.
Yeah, it is depressing, Jim. I 100% agree. It's
depressing, Jim.
Depressing.
You are 100% correct.
I was just on Reddit Comics this morning, and there was a feed, and it was like, does anyone read Bleeding Cool still? Do the writers of Bleeding Cool even like Bleeding Cool? Like, most of these guys read, like, their articles read like they fucking hate this job. And everyone was saying the same thing, like, I fucking hate Bleeding Cool. And sadly, it is one of, like, 3 sites that I have to go to
Rich
get real
Johnston is a muckraking bottom feeder.
He's a jackass.
But he does the work.
He does the work.
He's a legit comic journalist, whether you like it or not.
Right,
he's like,
right.
It's like the New York Post. Like, it's crap, but it's not wrong. He's
very good at his job, and what his job is being a gossip columnist.
Sure,
essentially.
Sure, and I will say this, and I'm not going to defend Bleeding Cool all day. I will say if Rich Johnson wanted to make a lot more money, he could lean into some really shitty reporting. He could lean into some really shitty dark corners of the internet and get a lot more money and a lot more clicks, and he's not doing that. I'll give him that.
Ian,
Ian,
your mic, please. Ian.
Yeah, you're popping and clicking over there a little bit, Ian.
My bad. Sorry about that, guys.
All good. All
You're
good.
Yeah, no, Rich. They'll take one, 5-minute interview and split it into each sentence into a different post, so
Yeah.
they're getting all the clicks. Like he will milk it, but he's just a guy trying to make a living. You know? And
I'll say that. And
Yeah, he's a dad. He's got young kids.
He's not a
trying
hate
to
monger.
Put food on the table.
And somehow being a hate monger, you get big points for not being a hate monger. Gets you big points.
I can't defend it, but I do at least recognize the fact that he puts in the effort.
He does.
As opposed to Newsarama, who literally is one post per day.
Yeah.
And it's garbage.
Oh, Screen Rant, their comics coverage, pure AI.
Oh, don't even click on that
Pure
stuff.
AI.
That's
And every one of them is
so
like a
bad.
complete clickbait, like a picture. The Supergirl trailer, like this week, they were like, James Gunn just replaced Star-Lord. And the picture is Star-Lord, like looking shocked, like, whoa. And then you click on it and it's like, the Supergirl trailer launched this week and this was in it. And like, fuck you. you assholes. God, they're terrible. Just terrible.
Yeah. I love Heidi McDonald. I love The Beat.
I do
But The
too.
Beat covers a lot of stuff that I don't really care about. Like, I don't.
It's good that it's covered.
There's
though.
only.
It
There's a.
should be
like,
covered.
My interest. Yes. And I'm glad she's out there doing it. But my interest in the nuts and bolts of certain parts of the comic industry ends before the stuff The Beat puts out. And so it's just like, okay, I don't care.
I kind of love some of that stuff. I
Sometimes I care.
I kinda love
Often I don't. It's like I have no like all the drama about the Angoulême, and I'm sure I butchered that, but the Angoulême Comics Festival in France. It's like, yeah, that's huge stuff for an international comics community, which is much, much, much larger than the one we have here in America. That said, I am an ugly American. I have no frame of reference to care about any of it.
Sure.
Like, and so I'm glad she does the work. I just don't read a lot of it.
Still, great job. And I'm not putting her in the same category as Bleeding Cool. I think
No. She's not a
legit
gossip monger. No.
good comic journalism and maybe some of the last good comic journalism on the internet. End of line. I don't think there's.
Yeah.
It's hard to find.
And it's just
these
like
days.
what I want, and I know that this sucks of me, but as somebody who does this sort of thing, right? We have the call-in show where we want to talk about nerd news. I want a place where I can go and actually see a page full of actual headlines.
Sure.
And be like, okay, this happened. Superman, Spider-Man, Supergirl trailer, Street Fighter, Pluribus, whatever. And I don't know where to go to find that now.
You know what? I'll give CBR. They still do good interviews and stuff. Like I just read an interview this morning with Dennis Camp about wrapping up the Marvel Ultimate Universe and stuff.
Most of their stuff.
Most of their stuff is pure garbage. It is pure garbage. The interviews they do are pretty good. And Dennis Camp, I have so much respect for Dennis Camp, and I'm starting to feel bad for him with all these interviews that I'm reading about the Ultimate Universe ending because it's hurting him. He is hurting. He's excited and he's like, I'm so thankful.
Like emotionally, you mean.
Yeah. He's like, I'm so happy to have had the chance that I've had and everything. And he also kind of makes it sound like in speaking to Ultimate Spider-Man writer. I'm drawing a complete blank. Hickman. Thank you. Hickman prepared him for this and was like, buddy, sooner or later, this business is going to break your friggin' heart. So,
I mean, Kirby said it decades ago.
Yeah.
Comics will break your heart. It's a very famous quote.
And he's legit. And like, I feel a little bad. We reviewed that 2 years in, the Ultimate 2 years in, and I fucking trashed it because it was just ridiculous. It was a collection of stuff hammered together. But I also, like, after reading that article, I was like, oh man, this poor dude. He's just like, well, these are my ideas, and I just want to dump them somewhere. Like,
right? Like he knew that Ultimates was gonna come to an end, and he thought to himself, well, I'll move from Ultimates onto Ultimate Guardians of the Galaxy.
Sure.
And then Marvel was like, just kidding, it's all going away.
Yeah.
Because they originally thought that the first wave of titles would end to be replaced with new ones.
Right.
And that's not what's going to happen. And so they crammed all of that shit into that one shot, and it suffers because of it.
It suffers because of it.
But I do feel for the guy because he clearly is a writer with a lot of pretty fun ideas.
And he genuinely loved where this was. And he was talking about how, like, he would put out an issue and he was excited about stuff. And Frigeri, was it Juan Frigeri is the artist on it, right?
Juan Frigeri is the artist on Ultimates, yes.
Yeah. And like how he would get the art back from Frigeri while he's drawing it, and he'd go, oh shit, we have to do way more with Corgan, with the Human Torch. Like, this character's awesome. And then like they put the book out, and the editors,
not Corrigan, Jim Hammond.
Sorry, Hammond. And even like editorial was like, all right, man. And then like the fans freaked out. We're like, this is great. More of him. And he's like, I told you. See? And they're like, yeah, this is great. And they hadn't like told him that this was all coming to an end yet.
Right. Yeah.
And he was like so in love.
And it sucks for him, but what the hell were we even talking about?
Oh, well, so I wanted to get back to talking comics. We were talking comic journalism, but Ultimate's coming to an end. They are talking about it.
You read it in an interview on TV.
They are talking about the fact that Marvel is ending the Ultimates. Like, it is the bravest thing a comic company has ever done, Joe Patrick. They are ending a story.
Right.
Never.
It's like, the courage. Profiles in courage.
Never
Marvel
has a
comics.
Story ever ended before. And we are proud to bring you the end of the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Speaking of Marvel, Age of Revelation is coming to an end. I don't know if anybody here is still reading it. I could not sleep 2 nights this week. So I read a shitload of Age of Revelation. And I said, prove me wrong, Tom Brevoort. Prove me wrong. He didn't. It's garbage. It is bad. All of these miniseries read like the writers were told they've got 4 to 6 issues to tell their story. And then someone said, I'm sorry, I meant 3 after they had finished issue 2. It's just everything that is set up is whimpering to an end, right? And there's been some online controversy about Age of Revelation centering around Magik. There is a Marvel Unlimited issue that was all about Magik, like where she went.
Oh, right. But that's not. Is it Age of Revelation?
It's part of Age of Revelation. She's shunted She was shunted back to Limbo, while Darkchild is running Rhode Island.
Oh yeah, because Ilyana, quote unquote, died, and now Darkchild.
She's not dead, and this online book, one of the Infinite Scroll books that they do, is showing what happened to Magik. And Magik, it was heavily implied back in the day that Belasco, who ran Limbo, probably sexually abused her as a child. Right?
I don't remember that being in the subtext of the old comics,
definitely
though.
There. I'm not saying they come right out and say it, but she was definitely abused. There was stuff going on, and it's not hard to believe that there may have been some sexual abuse. Belasco, very bad guy, right? So I'm just following a train of thought here. I'm not saying that is necessarily my train of thought, but this is where this went.
Sure, right.
So Ilyana wakes up in Limbo, and she's in her underwear, and she's right back there. And Belasco is like, ha, ha, ha. And Sim's like, yeah, you're back. And then we're going to punish you and torture you and all this stuff. And there's a scene, and on the cover, she is definitely like crawling and presenting her butt, this Darkchild thing with very, Spider Woman, like they.
I mean,
like, whatever.
I've seen that.
And that's uncalled for, sure. But there's a scene in the book where they're making her beg for food, right? And they're like, do it, beg for your sustenance or whatever. And some people took that as she is begging to be sexually assaulted. It is not in the book. It does not happen in the book. I want to stress this.
Okay, yeah, that's people being gross.
Right. And I want to stress this. That is not there. This is written by, oh God, I'm drawing a complete blank on everybody's names now.
Tim Seeley.
Thank you. Tim Seeley. Tim Seeley wrote this. So
that's kind of a red flag, but go on.
But people, now let's just back up. Tim Seeley, while he does do some sexy stuff, he always gives his characters agency. I'll say that. They always have agency. The hack slash girl dresses like that because she knows the monsters are looking for that and they're going to come at her thinking she's just some little wave thing and she kills them. Whatever. Right? So
okay, sure, buddy.
Is what it is. But I will say he is very pro-feminist and he says he's very pro-sex worker and all this. I'm not defending anything. I'm just saying he did not put that text directly in the book. It was sort of decided by several people that it is in the book, and they immediately started calling for him to get fired. There were people that called for violence against him, so much so that he went in and he nuked his entire Twitter feed. Right?
Yeah, he deleted Twitter and fled to Blue Sky.
Yeah.
That I saw.
And I agree with what Brian is saying. Is there some subtext that maybe Ileana at one point was sexually assaulted? Sure. Yeah. Maybe. I don't think that's what he was going for in this book. 1. 2, barely anybody read it until people started screaming about it. Like, I wouldn't have read it unless I saw the reaction and was like, well, I guess I'm reading this other Age of Revelation crap. Why don't I check this out? But it sure seems to me like a gigantic stink was being made over something that I just don't get. And if you're mad at how Magik is treated, I am too. I love the character. I'm sick of the way she's portrayed in the X-Men. I never liked the Dark Child shit. I always thought that was dumb. You know, but I don't think this is the way. I don't think this is the way to get your magic back.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it on my phone right now, and the scene with the food is like literally her just thanking Sim for showing mercy or whatever because he's told her she has to.
And they're like, they made her thank her abusers and stuff after they raped her. And it's like, well, look, maybe they did, but it wasn't on panel. And I don't think that's what's going on here. You know, Brian, you're off mute. What do you make of this crap?
You know, it's, I don't want to minimize people's trauma.
Not at all. No.
You know, but and it's been maybe 2 years since I read those Magik, like the Magik miniseries and those initial stories in Inferno. And when I went back and I read them all the way through, like Sim was always seemed like a, you know, the individual issues of Inferno I read, like he seemed like a mwahaha kind of guy.
Right.
But then when you actually read it,
it's like a sleazy dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's almost like, oh, you're here. This is great. Like he's like excited for her to be there, but not in a lecherous way.
Yeah.
Like he's like, oh, our queen is here. Oh, finally. Like, oh, we're saved. Like this is exactly what it's always wanted. And she's like, I don't want this. And it was like, oh, come on. Like, oh, shucks. Like he's not that, like he's creepy and he's gross because he's a demon, but he's not, I mean, and it's Chris Claremont. Like the guy did pervy shit in kids comics all through the 80s. And totally. I don't think that subtext is there. I don't see it.
And I don't see it with Sim as much, but with Belasco, I think maybe.
I mean,
there's some shit with Belasco that's kind of gross.
Maybe to anything, but like,
sure.
I don't know. I don't think this has been a Magik through line for her entire character. I think there's a lot of fan fiction stuff.
Yes.
I mean, who knows? There could be an entire.
Well, it's like you said. I think there's a lot of projection.
That, you know? I think it's a lot of projection, and so when a couple vocal people on Twitter, because no one should be on Twitter because it is a Nazi bar with some good people on it, but they're just like this insular group that is just feeding each other, and then and I don't know, and Joe, you just read it, like it's not what is on the page,
right? And it's like even Matt's throwaway comment at the beginning of this conversation where it's like Ileana dies in the real world and then shows up in limbo in her underwear. Well, she's not really in her underwear. She's wearing like tatters.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
And it is not sexy.
No, it's not
Like,
sexy. She's not like, but like, I think
Like-
for some people, they were like, look, she's like a child that's like, you know, like being sexually, you know, manipulated or
she's
whatever.
wearing like tattered rags. But then like the dark child has always been like,
sex machine.
look at this sexy demon bitch
Yeah.
right here, like with the boobs out and stuff.
Sure.
Like even today they draw Magik and Dark Child like that.
Well, that's the
And
thing.
it's
Like
just like,
Dark
well-
Child is that same sort of thing as like
Yeah.
the Sue Storm other, you know, her alternate
Malice,
version.
yes.
Malice, like, and that's again a Claremont, like that Malice thing is
The whole like
Polaris had the
this
Malice
this
thing.
bondage
Like, he's-
fascination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like he always kind of did that stuff and showing like, you know, the bad side of the good girl kind of thing, which is
The
very-
Hellfire Club.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
entire
yeah,
Hellfire
the
Club.
X-Men Sex Club. Yeah, I mean that's what they
All
did.
of the Hellfire Club.
Everyone loves Emma Frost now, but
Uh-huh.
don't you like? I think we're all forgetting where she came from.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and look, and I'm not trying to let it overshadow everything. The main story here is Age of Revelation has been abysmal and it's a bad idea. And it is so editorially mandated and obvious. And now we're going to flip back to, this, what are they calling it? Gray matter lane, where like, oh, we're not going back to school, but we are going back to school, but it's like a telepathic place. And like,
It's a psychic school. It's a
kind
mind
of-
palace, which I think it's kind of fun.
I don't know. It's a larger story about the state of the X-Men, and I'm not thrilled, and I'm kind of shocked.
I'm actually, I think that this Shadows of Tomorrow thing on paper,
Yeah,
like
you know what? Trevor's right.
The proof will be in the pudding, but on paper, this Shadows of Tomorrow thing sounds more fun to me than anything they told us about From the Ashes.
Maybe. Trevor points out, though, even in the New Mutants movie, they made Magik.
I see. I don't remember that. I
I
believe that, but I don't
Yeah.
remember that. I watched that movie and I was just like,
It's always
whatever.
been an undertone, sort of like the Kitty's a lesbian, like those undertones, stuff like that. But this also, like this uproar, reminds me.
But
of like,
even those undertones are a lot of that is projection.
I agree,
because
and that's what I was about
I've
to say.
been reading Kitty Pryde comics my whole life, and I've really never once thought that she might be a lesbian.
This reminds me of like this Supernatural thing where the fans who really wanted to see,
Yeah, they
you know,
want Dean and Castiel
Dean
to
and
kiss.
and because
Right.
they didn't, they were like, you hate gay people, you're anti-gay, and they were like, that's not the story. You made that up, you guys.
Yeah, the shipping community
Right.
is something I don't really understand. I don't get, like, it's one thing to think, boy, I wished that Peter and MJ would still be together in the
That's
comics.
totally different.
It's another thing to completely concoct fan fiction romances in your head and then be mad when they don't exist.
Right. And the rumor is Peter and MJ get back together in Spider-Man 1000 and we come full circle. Yay, I can't wait. I'm super excited. I don't think I've ever been less excited to read Spider-Man either. I think it's
this is
time for
an interesting
Spider-Man.
point. The Poison Ivy Harley Quinn relationship was definitely something
It was fan generated.
that was sort of fan generated, but even in the original show, there was that Harley and Ivy stuff, you know. But I think obviously in the cartoon, it wasn't romantic.
And
But I think that they saw that episode and were like, oh, they could be dating. And then we got, stuff like Gotham Girls and Gotham City Sirens. And
Hold on,
then
Mark-
the subtext became text.
Mark's got something to say about this. Oh, I thought he did. You came off mute, Mark. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't. No, ignore me.
Oh, no. Okay. I thought you had something you
But
wanted
I
to say.
mean, I think that John makes a good point in that it was something that fans saw that could potentially be there, and then they kind of willed it into being, right? And now Harley and Ivy are essentially married. Like, I don't think they are married, but they're definitely romantically linked.
Well, sure. Yeah.
And yeah, and I think that
Think about the Harley and Ivy thing.
I
though.
love that relationship in the comics. But
Think
yeah,
about the Harley and
agree.
Ivy
I
thing,
remember that it wasn't always there.
It made sense to do something like that with a character like Harley. You can do that to Ivy because honestly, what did we know about her character before any of this? But you can say Harley was involved in an abusive relationship with a psychopath and learned, I don't want this. In fact, like, I don't want to be with anyone like that anymore. I want someone like Ivy, who, you know, is also misunderstood and going through a certain thing. And you can do that to that character, like, and gracefully it worked. It totally worked. But there's other things. Just because you want
to go back to your Supernatural example, it's just like, okay, look, I get it. I understand. I know what that whole Tumblr generation of fandom is like, and I don't want to make any super broad generalizations, but I will say this. Being mad that Dean and Sam never hooked up when Dean has never wanted to do
Dean
anything
and Sam,
other
they're
than
brothers,
have sex with women.
Dean and Sam are brothers, you monster.
No, it's Cassiel. Sorry, Cassiel. Dean and Sam. Oh, if you don't think that there are Dean and Sam shippers, you're probably
nobody wants to talk about it, you
mistaken.
weirdo. All right?
I know, but yeah, Castiel. It's like Dean is like that. There is nothing in the show, nothing that would imply that could ever happen.
I mean, I will say they were buddies. They were probably closer than Sam was with him. Sure. But like, doesn't mean that they're, you know, touching tips when nobody's looking, you know, or whatever. You're like, come on.
I mean, nothing wrong if they were, but
nothing wrong if they were.
But you're right, exactly.
Yeah, but they weren't.
There would be nothing wrong with if they were, but they
wasn't
weren't.
in the story.
Exactly.
And then when it ended, and to not show it for people to come out and be like, you're anti-gay, like, that's ridiculous, you guys.
Shut the fuck up.
Slow down. And not to cheapen anybody that is a victim. I get that. I just don't think that's what happened here. I think we should just focus on the fact that Age of Revelation sucks and talk shit about that. Like, that's the bigger
why'd you
story.
even bring it up?
Because it's coming to an end, and I wanted to discuss it and see what people thought. And I'm glad we're of like mind. And you should never look. I get mad and say shit online. Sometimes I've learned to dial it down a bit, but wishing violence on people for anything, just that's the best way to cheapen your argument and reduce it to zero.
I saw people telling the writer of some post that was related to something, maybe it was the Supergirl trailer, I don't remember, that they should die.
Sure.
Like, you should die.
Yeah.
You're a bad person and you deserve to die for what you've written. It's just like,
it's comics, guys. It's fucking comics we're talking about.
Fuck down.
Okay, let's talk comics.
So I'm going to just pivot.
DCKO. I want to talk about DCKO.
Okay. I was going to talk about Superman, Spider-Man, but DCKO is actually going.
Superman, Spider-Man hasn't showed up yet, and sure, it's going to be fun and cute.
It's fun. It's great. I can't wait.
Great.
Yeah, me too.
Who else is reading DCKO, and how do we feel? Because we're sort of a house divided in the ziggurat, to be honest, and I would love to hear from anyone else that is reading.
I just can't wait to be vindicated when all this is over.
No one else here is reading it. Brian, you're not reading any DCKO stuff.
I am skimming it because that's the most attention I can give most of it, and I don't care.
Fair enough.
I just, yeah.
I have them literally staring at me, issue 1 and 2. So I'm probably going to finish reading it. What I do know, though, kind of the broad point, because I was spoiled with this Superman versus Captain Atom fight.
Yeah,
the Superman versus Captain Atom fight is weird and dumb.
Yeah, it didn't work.
It did.
That didn't work for me.
It did not hit.
Captain Atom sucks. It's enough of him.
Yeah,
enough.
He does.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
There are zero
cheated
good
too.
Captain Atom stories. They suck.
And he cheated,
they're bad.
Yeah. I've had to come to grips with the fact that I just
bad.
really like the way he looked on covers back in the day. Like the stories aren't good.
So I'm gonna say this: the best version of Captain Atom I've ever read is the one from Justice League Europe, and that book was co-written by a pederast. So it's not something I would recommend you go back and read.
That'll tell you something about Joe Patrick, folks.
Not like nobody knew back then. Gerard
There it
Jones
is.
a monster. Nobody knew that back then.
No, I still have the book he wrote on the history of comics. It's a very good book. He is a
very
terrible
good
person.
book.
Yeah. Two things can be true, right?
Two things can be true. Yeah.
You said the Wonder Woman Lobo thing that came out, and we'll review it next week. Or we'll review it on
that
the
one was
Back
great.
show.
But that's written by Joel Jones. Look. Here's the thing. If you can give yourself over to the concept of DCKO, there is some fun to be had.
That's
we
what I'm
know
doing.
that this is true.
That's what I'm doing.
However, yes, Mark, now we're talking about Lobo. However, I think that it is stupid as hell that after a year, 2 years of buildup of this all-in stuff, that the big revelation at the end of it and the launch of the Ultimate Universe and a year of Absolute, and a year of Absolute books, that the big storyline, the culmination is Superman gets to punch Absolute Superman. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
It's
beware.
dumb.
Scott Snyder, beware.
You guys, it's dumb. You should have known. When DC told you how dumb it was when they said, not only is that going to happen, but Superman is also going to get to punch Annabelle and the teddy bear serial killer from beneath the trees where nobody sees.
I don't think it's Superman punching Annabelle. I think it's somebody else.
It's Superman punching everybody, Matt.
I think
It'll be Harley.
In my
Harley's
mind.
Annabelle will evaporate.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Freedom Beast. It's Freedom Beast.
I hope
There
it's
you
Freedom
go.
Beast. Who's the dumbest person that wins this? And because I don't think it's Superman. I think that's too easy to say Superman comes out and wins the whole thing. Who wins?
No one's
this?
going to win. We're all going to lose, Matt. We're all going to lose.
It's like Aliens versus Predator.
Besides the fans.
That's the tagline. Whoever wins, we lose.
I heard you guys' review of the. I think it was the first issue. I'm cultivating your episodes, but they of the first issue, and that I like that Javi Fernandez, but he's not the right artist for the book.
That's exactly right.
He
is too sketchy and too like. It's missing something.
It's a softness. There's a softness.
Yeah,
to it.
it's just, he's missing like a hard line in the right place.
This
and
book. I'm not saying Mora can draw everything, but it needs to be slick lined, sharp.
You need
Mora, Dan Mora looking artwork.
artist, somebody or like a even Howard Porter would be sketchy and big and bold and crazy and
absolutely
something like that. But this is like I don't know, in the framing thing and the board games and like there's so much stuff in this thing. It's just what are we doing? There's more in the second one. They're like, back to the board game. It's like back to the board game. The Titans just emptied the earth, but we're talking about a board game. Like
in a week, we're supposed to believe they got that done.
They did that without the doors that the authority.
A lot of things got done that week.
And Superman had time to go play in the park with his wife and parents. It's like
it's absurd. The whole thing's absurd.
So
stop it.
Damon,
I have a question. Are they going to introduce the absolute characters? I don't know. I haven't been following up that much. They are.
That is in DCKO number 1. They make it explicitly clear that at some point in the crossover, the absolute versions of the characters will show up.
So Verdict just brought up something in the chat that I wanted to bring up, and that is like, I think I wanted to give myself over to this because as dumb as it could be, it still could be a lot of fun, right? When we settle those arguments, like can Wolverine beat up, or can Lobo beat up Wonder Woman? Shit like that. Like you can have fun with that. And if you look at the fight scenes in the Transformers book, right? The Daniel Warren Johnson and Juan Frigeri Transformers book.
The Jorge. Not
I'm sorry. No.
Jorge Corona.
Jorge Corona. Like, there were issues.
Transformers 25 is one of the fucking most brutal things I've seen forever.
Issues of Transformers that are literally a wrestling match that lasts almost 20 pages. And
Dave Meltzer give it 5 stars.
And I never got tired of it. I was just like, this is so great. It's just pure and they have a chance to do something like that. And we got the Captain Atom Superman thing with Sean Isaacs art. And it just it just
Sean Isaacs again, an
not
artist
the right artist.
That is very good.
He's a good artist. He's not the right
artist for that book.
No.
So boring.
Yeah.
It was very boring. Yeah.
It's like, what if Tom Grummett was young?
Sure. Right. Yeah.
Kind
exactly.
And you're leaning into
and I think that it's if they were going to do DCKO as the big crossover for the year and it was just like not tied to all of this buildup, I would have been like, yeah, great, fine, fun. But as the culmination of everything that's been building since the All-In special, I'm like, that's it? A fucking Street Fighter tournament?
Yeah, I mean,
it's stupid.
I got you. I hear you, and I we'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
No, but
Frank
there is
brought up
fun
that
to be
he
had.
thinks- he
You
thinks
just have to
Harley-
get over it. You
Frank-
have to get over
yeah.
that hurdle.
Frank brings up that he thinks Harley wins this whole thing, and people are like, haha, you know what? That is, I'll bet.
It's going to happen. I put money on it.
I'll bet
For sure.
that's-
I
Why
would have
not?
made a joke. I would have made a joke about Ambush Bug, but they show him getting brutally murdered in the first issue.
I don't think it's a terrible bet. Like if I was placing bets, Harley, yeah, that's it's a good money bet. You know, it's one of those
I
ones
think
like
Batman's gonna come out of the night fight dimension and fucking save.
Oh
the
yeah, that's
day.
true too. I forgot. Yeah,
That's
he's going to win by cheating. That's what's going to happen.
Right,
Because it's
essentially.
Batman.
Yeah.
I hope
basically,
they
yeah.
don't do that. I hope I do think the night fight stuff is very interesting, and I like that Batman's on the edge of this, looking in, and obviously he's going to help somehow. I hope they don't just bring him in and like Batman save DC as always. Nice job, Batman. Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, it's like absolute Batman, right? The absolute books on their own, with this past year of them being completely separated from anything, not crossing over with the main DC
Right.
universe, not even a hint of it.
just wonderful.
I have
Wonderful.
had so much fun with
Yeah.
almost all of these
Yeah,
books.
all of them are pretty good.
And Absolute Batman is like neck and neck for my favorite of the bunch. Like the first wave, those 3 books, they are all incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
especially Absolute Wonder Woman. I love that
Yes.
book.
Yeah.
But Absolute
And-
Batman is amazing too.
Superman really grew on me. Really grew on me.
Like Superman was a slow start.
Yeah.
But
When
once
they
it got
kicked off,
going-
that story.
But Brian said it just this week. He said Absolute Batman 15 is the one that broke the spell for him. And I don't like it. Didn't for me. I loved Absolute
Not
Batman
at all for
15,
me.
The Absolute
Yeah.
Joker.
I'm still on board.
But I mean,
Yeah.
it's like Scott Snyder is the guy who tells the story about Batman blowing up buildings in the shape of his face.
Sure.
He is no longer the guy that I want leading the charge in the DC universe.
That's fair.
Well, the KO,
I think
the
that's fair.
KO thing, I think, unfortunately revealed his tendencies
Yes.
towards.
Where
Batman is good
Scott-
because he can play
Scott
in that.
Snyder
in
is
that
the
genre.
epitome of wouldn't it be cool if?
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't disagree.
And I think that that's fine in some stories, but not as a tent pole.
Well,
He's not good at landing the ship is the problem. And we've
Yeah.
seen that through
yeah.
two metal projects. He did 40 issues of Justice League that no one remember,
True.
No.
right? Like
In fact,
40
some
issues.
of which I actively hated.
Yeah, you don't want
Yeah.
to remember them a lot.
No,
of
they're
it.
bad. They're and these
Perpetua
are these,
and that shit.
you know, cosmic. He doesn't know how to do it. So he's a blunt object. And this new issue with Jock, it gave me Batman Who Laughs vibes. And
Sure.
finding out that the Joker is like an immortal lizard creature
Spoilers.
thing.
Well,
Spoilers for Absolute Batman.
yes and
Sorry.
no.
It's
I
on
mean,
the cover. It's on the
like
cover.
look,
But-
it's
we
but I
don't
was
know.
like,
we don't know.
the
This is
no, we
I
know.
just said-
They come right out and say it in this issue that like
and he's
Joker
on-
has
yeah.
been pretending to be his own descendant.
we know what we think we know. We know what Alfred
Right.
thinks. We don't know that is the whole story. We don't know that yet.
I think he's going to do a Mr. Sinister thing where he was basically experimenting on himself, and here we are now.
Maybe.
The hubris of
Yeah.
being a billionaire or whatever.
Absolute Joker is the little mime boy from the Victorian era.
But I
He's the
love,
same guy.
I really enjoyed the underlying idea that it's like, look, this guy is not just evil. He's not just another evil billionaire. Like, I want to get what's mine. No, his family, or maybe him, has played both sides of everything to keep us distracted, to keep us fighting with each other, to keep us angry, and more importantly, to keep us spending money on our anger. Right? It
And then
is
he
poignant.
Yeah, no, like
It is
that. All of that I
smart.
like.
I
Just
love
let me.
that.
Why is that the Joker?
Because it's Batman's
Why?
ultimate nemesis. Quite honestly.
Yeah, but
I
you know,
mean,
it's this idea that's crammed into this thing, and I don't know. There's just all these parts that don't fit for me, and
Yeah.
the framing thing of, you know, Alfred saying it and Batman saying, "No, I don't believe it. No, what?
I did,
Really?
I did
Is
laugh
that
a little
what you
bit
said?
with his dialogue. Like,
Oh,
come
the
on, fucking
dialogue
say it,
is so
Alfred.
bad. It's like, I don't believe you. That can't be true. No, it is true. And it's like,
Yeah,
come on, how dare you
I
say
think
that?
that-
Like,
Well, he's not
God.
saying I don't believe it's
does
true.
I think Brian, I personally, thought the issue was very good, but I do understand thinking, why would this be the Joker? Why is this the version of the Joker that we're
Well,
doing?
I see it
As
as
opposed to it being any like why
Yes.
like this makes more sense. This would like I know that they're already doing Ra's al Ghul in other areas.
yeah,
in
the Superman.
But I mean, like,
yeah.
It's not just because
It's
he's
like-
extreme, John.
if they were like, yeah, this is absolute Hugo Strange, or if they said this is absolute Ra's al Ghul. Knowing I understand, if this had been absolute Ra's al Ghul, I'd been like, okay, yeah, this is a fun take on that.
Okay,
but it doesn't really make any sense for them to just put the Joker name.
Counterpoint.
Yeah, I see it in another way though, and I don't know if this is either going to be a good idea when it's ultimately said and done, but I get the idea what they're trying to do. It's basically Batman without money, right? Essentially,
right?
That's what absolute Batman the elevator pitch was. I guess what they're saying here's a Joker who is basically humorless, even though he kind of plays a clown, and him as being weak and frail in the main comics, right? Well, guess what? He's a crazy demon monster.
Well, he's
huge
not, but he's also not just a crazy demon monster. He is the antithesis of Batman in this world. He's the billionaire. He has the cave. He has the mansion.
Right.
This is what money.
That's what
Why is he a giant lizard?
Well, here
we don't know.
we don't know.
Yet.
We don't know
because he's pumping that baby venom.
But time out. We were okay. Are we okay?
One's 85 feet tall.
Let me ask this.
Baby venom.
Let
me ask this, though, Brian.
Milked from real babies.
Are we okay?
Apparently.
Are we okay with what happened to Waylon with Killer Croc? Are we okay with that?
Well, they did say he was going to go check. Well, what do you exactly?
I think something that gets a little bit lost is the idea that this is a universe born out of the essence of Darkseid.
Right.
And so, yeah. And so it's like absolute evil, right? Where like spoilers for a month-old comic, but at the end of it, they reveal that the Justice League, the absolute Justice League, is the Joker and Ra's al Ghul and Veronica Cable, or Veronica Cale or whatever. And like, it's the villains.
Yes.
The Justice League is the villains.
Right.
And Absolute Joker is the one with the manor and the Batcave. And like that stuff, I'm like, okay, yeah, I like that. He is a weird immortal lizard monster, which seems
the character in this issue.
It's Joker AF. Brian is the answer.
I can't take it. My F's can't take any more A. It's too much. But it's.
I think your A can't take any more F. Technically,
right.
The most we had seen of him before, other than end of denouement sniveling pages at the end of various issues, in that Absolute Evil issue. He's not. I mean, he's not written the same way, and maybe he's pretending.
Right.
But like he's a little more. He's kind of like Verbal Kent, right? Like from
Yes, right.
He's that kind of like he's unassuming, and he's kind of this quiet guy, and you get this thing of like it's always what's that guy's deal? Like that's the feeling.
He's secretly very terrifying,
right?
Yeah.
But then this whole thing of like no. His family's been this thing for the entire
in his
generation.
downtime, he gets naked and hunts people for sport.
It's I don't know. It's just it felt like very different versions of the same character in the same world, and so that's what I mean. Where I was like, all right.
I think that we could have done a very scary. We could have done a very scary, evil billionaire Joker without the shape-shifting lizard shit.
Well, we'll see.
Maybe.
But, so
but you
far,
know what? All I was going to say to finish that thought was just that at the end of the day, look, I've already seen like a giant 86-foot Bane. I would expect no less at this stage of the Joker. Right. And I don't know if this is going to be a good or bad thing by the time this is over, but I'm still on board.
Bane turned out to be like an Akira level monster. By the end of the book, just like guts, just everywhere, and it was
guts.
great.
Right. But I mean, sometimes that stuff lands and sometimes it doesn't.
I agree.
And I understand why it doesn't land for everyone.
I will just, my counterpoint here is, when was the last time we had a fresh take on the Joker? You can say this is weird. You can say it's bizarre, but I will
think
say
the counterpoint to your counterpoint is that this isn't really a take on the Joker. This is just a weird thing that they've slapped Joker's name on.
I disagree because it's just the Joker as like he had the Wayne family. He had his family goes back in Gotham this entire time, all the way back, and has built, you know, like an empire from nothing. Not Bruce's family. I think it's very interesting.
I understand, but I guess what I'm saying is that in the main comics, the Joker is just a man.
Yes, and in this, Bruce Wayne is just a man.
He is not. By the way, I always let's say this entire absolute thing is that Darkseid also probably secretly just hates Batman so much that he gives them the most monstrous villains of all time.
But I mean,
Yeah.
absolute Bruce Wayne and regular Bruce Wayne are different versions of the same person.
I agree.
But absolute Joker is not a different version of the character we have in the main DC universe. He's a different character. He's from the 1800s, Matt.
I mean, sure.
He's not the same man.
He may or may not be. We will find out. And Mark Stern, I do not think the Joker getting his face cut off was a fresh take.
Ew, I remember that.
It was
But
gross.
he wore it around his face
It was
like
gross and it was dumb.
That's a
with a belt.
great shot.
All right, I got to get out of here. This was great though. Good to talk with everybody.
Quick question though.
Yeah, Frank.
Yeah, Frank.
Okay, this is what I wanted to say. So you mentioned Ra's al Ghul before. If it's not the Joker who they put into this position of the, you know, hundreds of year old shape-shifting lizard, which it was spoiled for me days ago, who would you put there? Like, who would that character
There's no other
be?
villain. There's no other villain.
Yeah.
No, well, that's what I'm saying.
You
It's like,
have to
I
make the
don't-
Joker the ultimate Batman villain. You have to. He is.
Right.
Whether we like it or not, he is. You know, it's. And
It's
I'm
not gonna be
tired of the
Penguin,
Joker, and I'm
you
sick.
know?
And every time the Joker shows back up in regular DC Comics, I go, ugh, here we go again. You know, but like,
They did. So, Frank, have you been reading the Absolute books at all?
I have.
Okay.
I'm not caught up on the latest issue because I'm waiting for
this.
DC Infinite.
They are very slowly, like, well, actually, very quickly, I would say, taking the like normal friends from the early issues and like speeding them into being alternate versions of the villains that we know. But like the thing that they're doing with the Penguin is really heartbreaking.
yeah, it's awful.
That's messed up. All
yeah,
of them
that
really are messed
Yeah.
up.
Awful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really
and
awful.
like the Wayland stuff breaks my heart. Like, so a lot of it is very tragic, but also like, yikes.
Yeah, I'm still having fun.
Body
with it.
horror, baby.
I'm still having fun with it. We'll see. And I understand where you guys are coming from. I don't disagree, but we'll see. I'm giving
like, it's just you're either on board.
Right.
It's some things land, some things don't. It's it's the circle of life.
It's true.
Yeah.
All right, let's get out of here.
DCKO doesn't land for me. We'll see what happens.
We're going to cover the whole goddamn thing, so we'll find out.
God bless
Hey,
you guys.
a real quick question on the record before you hang up, Matt. Considering your complete disownment of Age of Revelation, does that mean I can stop reading them?
Yeah, you don't need to.
But I mean, does that mean we're not going to do the
No,
thing?
we're not doing it. I can't stress like
Thank God.
I cannot stress
You
how
read.
this hasn't even
free.
ended like a wet fart. This has ended like a fart in space where it's just like, who cares? Like nothing. It's all just going away. We ran out of ideas. Sorry about that. I thought I had a bigger thing here. On to the next thing. Like it's
I mean, I've enjoyed some of the individual minis, but you're not wrong about them. Like just smashing as much story as they can.
oh man,
into
and like some of the shit they set up. Like, look, I don't care about the Laura Kinney Sabretooth book at all, but they set up like some major
the Laura
shit.
Kinney Sabretooth book is the worst one.
They set up some major shit with like this kid and everything, and then it literally just ends with a, oh well, I guess he was a mutant. The end. You know, like, well, no shit. We knew that from issue 1. You know, like, what are we doing
Right.
here? Ugh.
Yeah.
Just
All right,
garbage.
thank God I'm free from my bondage.
All right, let's get out of here. Good gang hang. We will try to be back next week as we get closer to the holidays. It gets harder. I'm sure we all understand.
Yeah, it might be a little dicey, but we'll do our best.
Yeah, but if not, and if we do miss it, happy holidays to everybody potentially ahead of time. Be good, take care of yourselves. And,
Nachos Navidad, everybody.
when you see hate on the internet, recognize it for what it is. Stamp that shit down. Fucking top left. Best way to ruin your argument. Just good as